Hi everyone, I know this is unconventional. Like I just woke up and I thought I should do another story time. So this is a morning story time, right? And it's something I've actually been gagging to talk about. So, sex toys, vibrators, bullets, and dildos, and all of that stuff. To me, I don't actually think they're like that safe, to be honest. And to be honest with you, like when you're feeling some type of way and you haven't got no one there, I feel like it's just best to use your hand. And if you can't even use your hand or use your fingers or whatever, then maybe you should just dance it off or take a picture or, eat or do something else. Because I'm going to tell you about my first experience with a vibrator. Oh my god, before I start, thank you so much for your support on my first video. It's actually been amazing and your comments have been so enlifting, and it's just nice to know that I got my little bit of validation. What's go on in this bitch? Anyway, let me tell you. So, I was with this dickhead, obviously, as you don't know, which I've said in so many videos, in 2011, right? And we went out a second time, which I never told anyone because that was disastrous. But anyway, I was young, naive, and yearning. So I gave him a second chance, and that was from November. And then he obviously celebrated Christmas with me and my family. And he wanted to have sex with me, right? And it just would never happen. Like, my body would freeze anytime that he tried to put his willy inside me. It would freeze. It would just never happen. And then there was so many nights that he would just leave me there naked, be like, "Oh, you can't take dick anyway." It was really horrible, for someone that was a virgin. At that point, actually, I wasn't. So I definitely knew it wasn't me. I only had sex with one person, but my first time was a good time. I'll tell you about my first experience ages later in another video. But anyway, so we was doing it. No. Lie. We never did it. So it was Christmas now, and I was like, I got some interesting presents that year as well. And then I saw this black box saying LELO. And the audacity of this dickhead made me open my present. He couldn't even leave that till later. I had to open that present in front of my family, So I opened the box and I was like, "Oh my god, this is nice, Mum." My mum was like, "What is that?" The box was all official, And I opened it and I knew exactly what it was. It was a vibrator. Mum was like, "Oh my god, what is that?" I closed that box like it was Pandora's box. It was terrible. Absolutely disastrous. Anyway, that happened. I didn't say anything about it. Why is Siri on? Oh, seriously, iPhones really do get on my tits. Anyway, as I was saying, so that happened. A couple days later, we was lying down, and I was feeling some kind of way in it. I was like, maybe this will be the icebreaker. Let me at least try it. So if we were playing with the toy, then maybe he can just put it inside me, innit? Because obviously at that point, he's my boyfriend. So I feel like I'm obliged to have sex with him. Do you know what I mean? So that night, I got the toy and he was next to me, and I was like, "Babe, do you want to help me?" He was like, No, I just want to sleep. I was like, "Fine, I have my own fun." So, I put the lube on it like it says, and I was trying to play with my hole, which I don't do, and it just felt so odd. Then, I managed to get it, a bit in, and I didn't know the thing vibrates. And then I pressed something and it went zzz. Oh my god. Literally my hole sucked it up and had a leash on it. I'm not even joking, it was terrible. And it got stuck. It was terrible. It was stuck there. I was lying there with something in between my legs for nearly half an hour. It was so scary. I didn't know what to do, and I was asking, I was like, "Can you help me, babe? Help me. And he was like, ugh. And he was just, and he just went to sleep. And I was there stuck with a LELO in my ass. Ugh. Anyway, I managed to get out, and that was the story of my vibrator experience. It wasn't pleasant. It wasn't nice. And I never ever used a toy. I never stuck anything up my behind that wasn't, you know, raw meat. For that remainder of the time, for like until now. But I did buy a bullet. In Ann Summers, they were doing it for £5 for a deal, for an offer if you bought something. I remember I bought a bullet and my friend was playing with it on the table in McDonald's. And then I thought, what am I going to do with this? 'Cause I'm definitely not using another thing again. Oh, you're going to see Sexy Dammy.
Who's that?
My camera. So, you can say morning, babe. I'm just telling them about my vibrator experience. And then, yeah, so we bought a bullet. And I thought, what am I going to do with this? So I decided to give it to my mum. So I was like, Mum, I got you a present. She went, what's that? So I got you a bullet for your ass. She didn't take too kindly to it though. But still. So not all vibrators are safe, and you should really, really be careful with what you put up your ass, because some people can handle it, some people can't. If I would have known it vibrates, I would have been very cautious, you know. I wouldn't expect it to go up there like a Hoover, you know. But shit happens. At least it shows that I'm tight. I was gripping onto that thing for dear life. It just wouldn't lay out. Terrible. So that was morning story time about my little experience of that. And I shall be sending...
Do you think vibrators are made for anuses?
That one's a specific one for anus. Yeah. At least he was smart about that. He's like, oh, it's an expensive one, you know, so it better work. Well, it worked all right. It worked and got fucking stuck. Anyway, love you all. Mwah.